Hello everyone, Sidney St. James. Welcome to Season 8, Episode 10, The Parable of the Wheat and the Tares. Matthew 13, verse 24 to 30. Welcome to my podcast show today, as I will unwind the tale of the parable of the wheat and the tares. I'm your host, Sidney St. James, coming to you live from the heart of Georgetown, Texas, where the charm of the Old South meets the buzz of the 21st century. Today, we've got a special treat for you. A story that will blend timeless wisdom with a dash of modern humor, all set right here in our beloved town. In the year of 2023, in a world where the only thing faster than the internet is the pace of life itself, a man named Jesus walked through Georgetown. Now, this wasn't your everyday stroll. Through the town square, where the biggest excitement is usually debating whether brisket should be smoked for 12 hours or 14 hours, or trying to catch a shiny Pokemon on Community Day around the square downtown. No, this was something different. On a warm fall evening a few months ago, just as the sun was performing its daily magic trick, disappearing behind the historic courthouse and painting the sky in a vibrant flash of colors, Jesus found himself in this bustling town square. And he was there with everyone else to enjoy the lighting of the lights around the square. This place, usually a symphony of country music and the mouth-watering smell of Tex-Mex, was abuzz people from all walks of life. The crowd around Jesus was as diverse as a Texas potluck. We had Bob from the hardware store, who still thought tweeting was something only birds did. And then there was Sarah, the local high school teacher, or actually the kid, who could operate her smartphone with their eyes closed. They, along with a group of intrigued onlookers, gathered around. Jesus began his voice calm yet captivating, slicing through the hubbub of the square like a hot knife through butter. Let me spin you a yarn about a farmer in these digital days that we have now. The crowd leaned in, some expecting a sermon, others just thankful for a break from their bustling phones. This farmer, Jesus continued, planted the finest wheat in his field. But under the moon's watchful eyes, a sneaky fella, let's call this fella Sneaky Pete, planted tares among the wheat. A wave of laughter swept through the crowd, and someone in the back half-jokingly called out, "I knew a Pete once, sneaky as a fox." Jesus described how the wheat and the tares grew together, creating a sea of green in the heart of Georgetown, a sight more soothing than the town's famous sweet tea on a hot day. He acted out the workers' dilemma, exaggerating their confusion about whether to pull out the tares, which sent the crowd into another round of chuckles. And what did the farmer do? Jesus asked, pausing for an effect. He said, "No, wait until the harvest." When we don't want to uproot the good stuff along with Pete's prank. As the story wrapped up, the crowd was not just entertained, but enlightened. The parable weaving its way into their hearts, they dispersed into the night, their spirits lifted by the blend of wisdom and wit. Now there's 4 ways to look at what this story means. One is that the farmer in the parable advises his workers to wait until the harvest to separate the tares, or rather the weeds, from the wheat. Now this symbolizes the importance of patience and caution in making judgments, especially when it comes to distinguishing between what is right and what is wrong, or what is good and what is evil. The idea is that premature judgment can harm the good while trying to root out the bad. It also relates to coexistence of good and evil, as it acknowledges the reality that good and evil often exist side by side in this world. It suggests this coexistence is part of the human experience, and that trying to eliminate evil prematurely might lead to unintended consequences. Now, another thing it teaches us is the ultimate justice and separation, where the harvest in the parable represents the end of the final judgment, where good and evil will be separated definitively. Now, this points to a belief in ultimate justice, where good will be rewarded and evil will be punished, but only at the right time. And finally, another aspect of the parable is about the limitations of human judgment. Now, this story that I'm telling you today suggests that humans are often not in a position to make final judgments about others, as our understanding and perception can be limited. It implies that judgment is best left to a higher power, God, in the Christian context, you might say, who can see the true nature of everyone and everything. And that, my friends, wraps up our journey today through the streets of downtown Georgetown, Texas, with a tale that's older than your grandma's secret chili recipe, but still as fresh as your cousin's latest TikTok dance. Remember, in a world racing faster than a squirrel at a nut sale, it's okay to hit the pause button. It really is. Breathe in the sweet smell of brisket or tofu, if that's your jam, if you know what I mean, and take life one chuckle at a time. Well, this is Sidney St. James. If I had my hat here, tipping my hat and closing the curtains on today's show. But hey, don't be strangers now. Swing by again. More stories and more laughs, and maybe a surprise or two. Until next time, keep your coffee strong and your smiles wide. Peace out, party people. And as always, in the wise words of my pet goldfish Finny, keep swimming, even if it's just in circles. See you later, alligator. If my daughter was here, she would add, after a while, crocodile. And stay groovy. Peace.
Merry Christmas.